There we have it now. Mojo, I don't think... Last time when Oops played it against Kazna, they tried to make a trap. I don't think they're going to go for the same style against
Also,
Legend.
they had a 350 beast then, so that will not count. Also, Oops is not that repetitive, and that's one-time cheese you use against a specific team. You don't want to make it work several times in a row.
Here we have it already. Percussion in the E5, probably going towards A5 for the rest of the boys from Oops. 1-2 line control coming out. 1-2 line control means they are pushing down 1-2 line, taking control of it. But Legend has a lot of tanks there as well. Sending Killsteel and Zed in the grill up the hill.
Legend is really aggressively committing here toward the rail. It's not really usual for teams to go full like this. They just left Zed at that opening on the hill to snipe support the G line, and that's about that. And they're spotting so someone doesn't do any weird stuff like pushing the hill. But honestly, Oops doesn't have the tanks even to do that much. But I guess since Legend tried it themselves, they're kind of afraid someone might do it again.
We've seen it before, though. That grill from the hill might be able to land a shot onto Mailand here if he peeks it a bit.
Oh, look
That's
at
close.
that angle. Look at that angle.
Between those trains, it's very narrow, very tight gap he can hit. But if he does, it's not going to be good for Mailand.
It's also ultra RNG, I would say, on that distance.
With Grilla, kinda yes and no, because it's so accurate. And here, Algo, this is a cool position to spot from. Sees the 8 line, sees the courtyard.
And he's
Fairly
pretty safe. So Killsteel checking out with Bachat, what's going down. That's kind of an unusual, because if you get counterattacked, you will lose a tier 10 for free. He has virtually no cover by anyone. Really risky play by Legend. I would say they're even trying to trap by positioning of their tanks, because this is not normal positioning.
This is a bait setup, I would say, from Legend. You see El Nino, Ali, Ebeb have a pretty good crossfire there, waiting for any of the Oops tanks to push forward. Now, most likely what will happen, they put Iporash on the cap, wait for the commitment, may wait for the rotation, then try to catch it off guard.
50B behind the church is a crucial one, because he cannot be spotted by any of the Oops guys. So if they commit on that 1-1-3 that is baiting in a street, he will come out and clip out at least one guy. Also, but I don't like the position of the other 50B, honestly, on the map.
It seems like Oops is kind of aware of what's going on here. Ali also peeking, lands the one shell onto Mailand, actually. Oh, Mailand getting shot there a little bit. I'm surprised Spoing didn't take anything of that. Ali peeked on him, Ebeb peeked on him, both of them not connecting.
Yeah, Oops is not taking the bait. That's very nice. I like that kind of approach, because that means they are playing the match to the fullest here. They're not just working it out. Algo is coming to spot their backs, I would say, and all the tanks are coming up to commit. Now they see the cap pressure is only with one guy, and Percussion will realize really soon there is no challenge on the cap, so the rest of the guys will just hang back.
It's a good adjustment here. Feaster taking some as well. Same time. Now there's a lot of tanks of Legend here stuck in that southern side. Kind of need to start rotating now. You see El Nino, Ebeb, Ali, Dima all still there, and Oops has completely retracted.
Yeah, Oops is really already focused on a counter-attack that should come if there is any pressure, but there is none. Legend is playing ultra slow this match. They just pulled a little bait, and now there is nothing going on.
What I do like, though, is Zed realizing there's a potential that he gets counter-pushed. We've seen it before, now moving away. That is still okay from Legend. So far, it's not... I mean, the idea was okay, the execution a little bit lacking there. Could have been executed better, but still. Now at least they get 1-2 line control.
Oops is sending a lot of tanks to check out the zero line. They didn't send a lone Bachat, so he doesn't get surprised by any kind of trap. So that's a plus.
Shot.
And Algo is in the same position he was when they played against Kazna, if you remember. He was wrecked in a start on 50 HP, so he was there in that little bush. Kazna tried to blind shoot him, but it didn't help. Yepurash going for the cap, and he got spotted, so he knows there is someone, somewhere there in that area.
Now Zed did spot all of those. You can see on the minimap there, tanks were spotted, so a lot of info here. Kind of need to blind shot Algo's position is a very obvious one.
Really crucial moment. Grill is also spotted. They know he is on the hill. So Oops knows he is on the hill. And there is only one guy covering the 8 line. That's Killsteel.
I think he's just covering it, though, as he now lands the first onto Spoing. Just really just spotting. So far from Legend, this is not bad. There's going to have to be a commitment here at one point to reset that capture circle. And that grill up the hill could be very, Very painful, but Algo is going to be the crucial factor here. Nice shell from Zed onto mainland, but look at Algo's position. He will ruin this entire plan, pretty much.
He can rest at the 113s, but he can still do nothing about the 3090 itself, if I'm correct. And there is some firing there from El Nino, but I cannot really make out who is he shooting on from that part of the rail. Still, the cap is pretty close. 12 seconds.
10 seconds left on the cap here. There needs to be a commitment. 8 seconds. Might be onto Algo to reset here. 5 seconds left. 4 seconds left. There we go. Another reset coming out, which is good. But Iporash here is the one that has all of the cap. Really needs a reset right now. Coming out here from Oops, and so far it hasn't come yet. 3 seconds left. 2 seconds left. They need the reset. Perkusha won't do it. 1 second. Can he land the shell? It doesn't look like it. And it looks like Legend is going to pick up the offensive side here onto Himmelsdorf. And Perkusha, what are you doing?
Wow.
What are you doing, Perkusha?
What was that?
Okay.
I mean, Oops already got capped several times in this season. And again, on Himmelsdorf. It's not like they didn't have time to see this coming. What was the plan against the 3090? They knew it was capping.
Perkusha had spotted Iporash. Didn't shoot Iporash, who had all the capture points. He had a shot. He shot one of the 113s instead.
Seriously?
I'm pretty sure he would, like... There was, at that point, there was 3 seconds left on the cap. He had 1 second to
but they were all the time resetting the 113s who had no cap points anymore.
That's the point.
Every bit of the cap was on 3090.
Shot 113 and didn't have reload to hit Iporash. He should have just driven forward and hit Iporash and be reset.
Well, that's what you get for that kind of play. What can we say? This was just a plain slow game, and then the ending was even slower and needless. Even.
I mean, Legend rotations were fine, really. They were on point.
It was kind of default, but
it was
the cap on the rail is ultra risky because you can get resetted quite easily.
But they always knew where Oops was.
Yes, but still, mate, like, Oops had a time, chance, whatever. Even with suiciding one tank,
they were very afraid of Zed there. They were super afraid of Zed on that hill. And then what Killsteel did well was spot 8 line. So he stalled 3 times.
Yeah, and run away.
And Zed spotted them as well, so they kind of knew that they could do the rail cap because of it.
It's fine, but they still had time to rotate and decap. If they decapped Iporash, even if they threw one tank, they would have time to play defensive.
Let's take a look at the stats, though, from that last round coming out. A little bit of lack of it. Killsteel, Zed, Ebeb.
There is virtually no real damage done here. Algo, top damage dealer for Oops with 1390 sitting in a bush. I mean, not in a bush at the end, but still. Top damage dealer on Himmelsdorf for a team with 1390. You know something is wrong there. Wow.
There's not much to see in stats here, as one can see. You know, it wasn't about stats. It was about getting the reset, which never came.
I believe their happiness on this peak will drop significantly after this one, but they should pull off the next one, I hope.
Well, there goes their 100% win ratio on defense.
Yeah, with this kind of play, I would be worried with their attack side too.
Which are like,
is there a cap when you're attacking? No. Okay. Safe.
Moving on. Oops will be on the offensive side now. And Legend on the defense.
Not a great record there. They got pretty much wrecked by everyone. I think they won only one game in defense so far. But let's see what they picked from the tanks so far. Now they changed their playstyles, adjusted to newer meta. Maybe it will be better. And there we go.
E100 though, on attack?
And 5100 in defense.
Well, I mean, it's better than the IS-3, so if they send Iporash to scout, at least he can do like 3 or 4 shells.
He can also make a good block with this one, but still,
Would it be a block?
This is kind of really offensive setup by Legend, really relying only on rotations.
I kind of miss 3090 in this, I'd say, or 2 tier 9 batches for spotting.
I missed a lot of stuff because 113 is the single tank they can have here.
That 5100, we've already talked about it a lot before. It's very hard to utilize it well. I mean, yes, 6 shells can do a lot, but if you get caught out, it's not good.
Honestly, I like Oops setup much more for this, because this E100 can give them a lot of options, including some angling covering the 3090. We already know it can be used up on a red line when you want to cap from that side. And let's see how did Oops plan to use it, because they can make a much better crossfire than Legend can do attack on them.
So it does seem like our game is ready, so let's get into it. The second round here between these two. As we said, Oops is now going to be on the offensive. Legend will be defending. It's going to be interesting to see what's happening, Mojo.
Mainly, I'm interested in how will they utilize these clippers from the Legend. Will they go all in a group or split? Where will the 50 go? That's the key part for me, because that tank can be a game changer here, depending how they use him. Will they just use him as a victim or as a part of the team? And I say as a victim, will they just use him to block something?
It's going to be El Nino playing that, so not Ipurash. And look at Oops here, actually moving towards the rail side.
But look at Legend, they're doing the really risky thing. They pretty much left that side only for one butt shot and the 5100 to cover it. And Z from really far.
Oh,
Ipurash already losing half HP.
Ipurash already losing half his HP here on that spot. The 250Bs waiting for that and getting the shells in. Scored by Oops, but now... Yes, some early damage, which is nice, but what does Oops do from here? Pushing the rails is a very risky thing.
Honestly, against this setup of Legend, they can choose whatever they want, because if they meet them in any kind of crossfire and hold down, a Legend simply cannot overmatch them. They need to approach, they will take shots, and then they need to clip out from close combat, but Oops also has clippers to deal with them. I don't know, I think this is kind of too soft setup for defense. It's not really for that. This is more something you can utilize in attack.
Legend is very split here. This looks like Oops does kind of realize this and now is adjusting. I think it will be the rail push coming out though, because there's really not enough tanks waiting there.
If they spotted a single tank from the Legend on upper lines, they really don't have to bother with pushing there, because they already have Ipurash on half HP and they can just go and press there and see can they catch someone else. After that, honestly, they can just turn around and go back again.
Talk of that now in that E100 also moving forward, and just see at the amount of tanks.
He's just probing to see, will anyone spot him, will he spot anyone, he will angle the tank, provoke them for the reaction.
El Nino here not looking at the rails even right now, and there comes the push from Oops. A lot of tanks there.
He's
coming
still
out from
already
Oops.
spotted, they know he's probably not alone there on a zero line, so they know the budgets are spread. El Nino already picking up half a damage, and he is in a really big problem here already. But Insane taking a lot of damage.
Insane in return taking a lot of damage here, so kind of trading evenly in this one could say, but El Nino goes down, Ipurash goes down as well. HP only 1.5k difference, but still 2 tanks down so far.
That was just a cheap trade. I mean, Insane lost an ammo rack, a lot of HP. Oh, that's a big shot by Grille, by Zed on mainland.
It was a nice shot from Zed there on that Grilla, making it a little bit more even at this point. But there's still, look at Spoink and Algo. Spoink should be able to chase down Killsteal here.
Killsteal, if he commits on Algo, he's already dead and he just doesn't even know it. So that's the end of the rotation for Legend of any sort. Look at Ebeb. Ebeb is already facing Oops guys. They just abandoned the cap and they are chasing their split. They knew what we were saying on a start. This Legend lineup is made for rotation. So once you start the rotation, you can easily get caught. And look at this, they're falling apart all over the map.
Algo picks up Killsteal now in that bad shot, who pushed there for no real reason, and Oops finding their strive in this one. Now only 3 tanks left from Legend. This was not a great play here. Dima is tracked, gets held, gets punished. Gets punished even more, and Duck of that 9100 comes around, picks him up, and it's all onto Ali and Zed.
Ali and Zed split all over the map against the 7 guys. Kind of a thin chance to win, wouldn't you say?
Very thin as Camille rams Zed to that, and now it's all onto Ali. Ali, and there's still 7 guys alive from Oops. Nice shot here, I think was from Duck of that in that E100. He can run. There's Camille, there's Insane, and Insane closes it out, and it will be Oops, making it all even again.
And this was quite decisive now. We've seen them survive now with 7 tanks. A good read of the game from them. Good read on the lineup of Legend.
Very
was
split.
really soft, fast, meant for counterattacks. Predictable because of that.
It was also very split from Legend. They were split all the way from pretty much K1 to B0.
They literally gave a freebie there with Ipurash and El Nino. They left them alone. Like, what will Zed do? put 5 shots in a row to stop them. This is not a Waffen tier 10 anymore. You can't stop tanks with him anymore. You can fire once and then you have to pull back.
Not sure what the plan really was there for Legend. I mean, leaving a batshot out to die there pretty much.
No, they even didn't anticipate that Algo will not be alone. Like, Oops was 3 steps ahead entire game. Like they should have been in the first one, but they wasn't. They weren't.
Now Oops bringing it all even. Let's take a look at the stats from the last round. Camille here, not bad. And then Zed in that gorilla. Again, we talked about it before. If anybody has to do it for Legend, it is going to be Zed.
It's all the time Z, 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 but we would like to see someone else there so they would pull up a game. But Camille, 3K, not too shabby, I would say. In that 50B, Fitzer also, but the rest even didn't have much time to shoot, I would say. Because they didn't even have to. The lineup of Legend was so light.
I mean, look at that.
Oh,
Algo
Webeb.
has more damage than
5 guys.
5 guys from Legend,
Of
6
it-
guys in total.
Of which 4 of them are
Tier
tier
10s.
10. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing for Himmelsdorf. I mean, I can understand for some other map, but here it's embarrassing.
Now Moja moving into our next map here. It's going to be Mines.
Not that good record for Legend there.
I mean, I said it, don't look at Legend stats because then statistically they're meant to lose pretty much every map.
Well, the good thing for them is Oops didn't play Mines much. They played only on 1 match. They lost attack, 1 defense, and that's about that. So we will see how this goes because also Legend didn't play much, but they lost everything, both attacks and defenses.
But Oops has Spoink though.
Yeah, Oops is Spoink and Spoink can climb any mountain. We know that.
I mean, not any mountain, but most of them.
Well, at least in tanks, any mountain. Here he's an expert and an alpinist and whatever you want. And he's doing it pretty well. We've been watching him and he doesn't do mistakes at
I
least
haven't seen him
live here.
fail one yet.
No. He's been on spot every time.
On the
Timing,
other
everything.
maps, I'm just remembering like a lot of
We're gonna
rounds.
jinx in May.
A lot of rounds are lost. Even yesterday, if you remember, Kazna, Isna failing the
Isn't feel like
boost.
3 in a row with the rule, lost them around
That's
immediately,
something
right there and
that
then.
Spoink will never do.
We think so.
I'm pretty sure.
We will see.
Fairly confident.
Maybe we jinxed him.
Yeah.
Fairly confident.
Maybe
But-
we did jinx him.
But let's see. Mines, Oops is on defense. We all know this is kind of
Defensive map.
defensive map. This is, guys, the only map in the league at the moment that has high rate of defense success, 70%. All other maps are far below 50. So the league changed quite a lot. Attack side is usually around 60% now and defensive of 40. But Mines is still sticking to the old glory, not giving up. So attacker team, in this case Legend, is in far inferior position.
Question is, what is Legend going to decide to bring in this one? I mean, we haven't seen a lot of successful breaks yet from Nukamp at all. It's very hard. The only one that I remember that was really good was Swift, but that was such a blind play. That was such a risky play.
Yes, we've seen mainly defenders lose when they do some kind of suicidal mistake. If they just stick to the plan and do enough boosting in defensive, they usually control map so much that you need to waste humongous amounts of time to deal with a certain position to certain position. Then you're forced to just push in last 2 or 3 minutes and just hope for the best, which is never a good thing.
I mean, we haven't actually on attack. I'm recalling we haven't really seen any successful RT plays either.
No, we've been thinking, okay, RT should be meant to dig out with this, but all the teams were responding usually by capturing the hill. Now, we've been already saying, when you are attacking, combined RT with good climbers,
Yeah,
that could make a result.
that could make the difference.
That could make a difference because then RT can play offensive. Otherwise, if you just stick it in a corner and hope for the best, well, he will get 0 for sure.
Let's take a look at the lineups. They're moving into our next round here, and we can see Oops here. Actually, Legend is going to be defending, so no surprise. I was already wondering why they brought E5.
Oh yeah, Legend is defending. My bad. Sorry, guys.
So Legend on the defense. No real surprises then. I was already going to say E5 for the offense, but E5 for defense makes a lot of sense. The Gorilla as well, and for Oops, 2 tier 9 bad shots. Oh no, tier 9 bad shots, T10. Sorry, two normal bad shots. I mean, fairly balanced lineup.
I can't say I like that much the Legend lineup because I don't know that Ru. Why Ru? There is so many other vehicles you can pick in defense. Even
T49 is...
T49 is much more useful for this
Yeah, of
kind
course,
of.
because if you do decide to go for the hill, the T49 can come back. But let's see though, because it looks like our teams are ready. The third round between these two, Oops and Legend, is going to be Mines.
Mines, a small summertime map with lots of hills, rocks and other cover. The teams start the battle in the usual locations, but the base locations are different. One is located in the bottom part of the village and the other one is in the water. One of the key objectives is the center hill. That's why the teams will often select fast vehicles and tanks with strong turrets for cover.
So there we have it now. As we said, Oops is going to be on the offensive side, Legend on the defense. And Mojo, how many climbs do you think we're going to see?
Let's see, Spoink for one, immediately going somewhere, but with this kind of lineup, they can even choose to go on a hill and take it. They have quite a lot of budgets there and TVP to support them, and yes, they're anticipating that Legend is not going for it, so they're just gonna go straight dirty peasant way, no fancy stuff.
Killsteal, nice. First part, you have to pay attention here. Feaster in that Gorilla might be able to land a shell onto Killsteal. If he gets spotted, I've seen it before. Now the Gorilla, if you can connect that shell in the beginning, be nice here. Killsteal does get up. There comes the Gorilla. 1.2k damage here onto Killsteal. This is not the perfect way to drive, by the way.
If they manage to connect him, one more, he would be such an easy pick from anyone boosting. And we will see someone from Oops boosting on that side to deal with it.
This is why people now like to play Gorilla on offense, by the way. Because if you spot that guy boosting, if he's not like perfect spawn, perfect speed. Also, I don't know why he chose that exact route. Like, left is a little bit safer.
It's safer, faster, and whatever you want.
And then the Gorilla can always connect him, though. So that's at least 750 taken away.
It's kind of price for inexperience, I would say. But El Nino doing the proxy with TVP. Okay, we've seen people use a tier 9
don't like
American.
TVP there.
Yeah, me neither. We've seen him getting pound there, like more than once when people left them. We've seen tier 9 American. He was clipping there also on climbers. So I guess people are trying to use them because of fast shooting. Simply, he can do more than one shell. But Spoink is already up. No point to check him that much. And Dima, Alien Shul are controlling the island.
They have a very good 1-2-line control, though.
It's pretty decent. But
I mean,
not much cover for them, though.
I mean, they will spot any rotation from Oops. Now Killsteal has to play very careful here. And I'm not sure why he's not shooting on Algo. He could really get a few free shells in there pretty much behind the bush.
Well, probably because of lack of HP, he's kind of not trying. Algo probably knows he's perma-spotted because of El Nino. There is Spoink. He's trying to see if someone is climbing up, like Killsteal, on the top of the mountain, so he can shoot him from there. And 113 will come below the mountain and try to take care of El Nino.
I'm kind of waiting still for Killsteal to make it. I mean, from that position, you kind of have to do the damage, low HP or not. Really has to make at least a few peaks here. Oh, he's stuck in here. Oh, now I understand. So I think, Mojo, it's fair to say, with the teams being slowed down, we can take a look at the map and you can draw out exactly as we can see
So
here.
the thing is here, guys, we have Spoink here. He has this under control here, so if Killsteal peaks, he will fire on him. Also, we have 113 here. His job is to chase away TVP. So they have that kind of crossfire, and that will allow them now to boost the butshot they're chasing up, and he will just go here and play slowly and chase them away. So they will just get some ground, and they will just gradually chase away the Legend. And once they do that, they can do the final push and just deal with them in any possible way. So it's kind of step-by-step movement, and they're just using every passive play that Legend is giving them at the moment.
So far, so good from Oops here. Camille pretty much getting up there for free. Not even taking a single shell, so good play there. very crucial for Oops that Camille gets up at as much HP as he possibly can.
A lot of guys from Oops are here in a village. They are not even spotted doing that rotation. They just left Insane on the top of the hill, so Legend has a feeling there is a force to be reckoned with there. But in all honesty, once they chase away and deal with kill steal, they're just gonna push with the entire team there, I would
This I
say.
like
And
though.
Spoink will cover Insane from the back.
This I like though. El Nino repositioning. We've seen it before. A lot of people get caught.
There you go,
under
push
that
is coming
mountain.
in.
Does seem like the push now. Mojostead is coming in. Percussion, Melan, Algo with Feaster in support. Spoink in the back. And Camille from the elevated position. It's not much that Killsteal is going to be able to do in this one. Nice shell onto Ebeb there from Feaster, I think, in the Gorilla. Yeah, that Gorilla working out so far now. There comes the tier 9 bad shots. Ebeb has to back off here. He has Zed in cover. But Camille picks up Killsteal in the meantime.
And already, Oops has all the advantageous positions they want. Now, Legend will try to flank from the back, but don't forget, Boink is there, watching over them.
Iporash already taking a lot in that RU as well. Ebeb is the E5 is getting pounded now. Algo should be able to pick it up as he does. Nice shot from Zed. Missed the first, but now making up for it a little bit. There's a lot of control here, but Insane, he should be going down in return, and Spoink really can't cover at this point.
Don't forget, he still has Camille also. And they are already taking some damage there on the hill. Elinshul took 2 shells so far. It looks like Insane will just try to exchange himself for 1 butshot.
Look at the rotation though. Algo, Melan, Spoink, they will come from behind. Those batches now taking a little bit already. This is fairly good for Oops so far. They have a lot of control. These batches, Dima, Ali, only having 2 shells. Don't think they're going to last much longer.
They have, at the moment, Oops has every possible advantage. Gun advantage, positional advantage, everything you want, they have. Also, the tanks of Legend are split all over the place, and they have no real chance where to run away or even how to join the forces together.
Legend is very split over the map here. 2 guys on the hill, 3 guys towards the south. As Melan picks up Ali, and Dima is not much he can do in this one either. Gets pounded, gets wrecked as Melan again picks up that as well. Those 2 batches now removed from the hill, and it looks like Oops has successfully managed to break the camp.
It looked even really easy, step by step. 1, 2, 3, and off we go. Zed, really in a dire situation here. There is nothing he can do to deal with them. If they want, they can end the game by cap, or they will just kill them as they probably desire. It looks better for fantasy teams though.
Zed here, Melan picking up another kill in this one. It's all onto El Nino and Iporash. You can see Camel from that elevated hill position as Feaster picks up Iporash in the Gorilla. And El Nino, the last one standing, 651 HP, and a hell of a lot of Oops tanks moving in his direction.
The
Feaster-
pain.
As
Oh,
Feaster is the one to pick it up, making the score now 2-1 in favor of Oops.
Okay, last 2 games much more confident. This is something that we would expect from Oops. All the teams that want to be in a top half, they really need not to drop the games like in a start. They must be self-confident and must show overwhelming presence on every map, so we could know we can count on them on more serious matches. And this was really good. This was a, I would say, even school example, guys, how to deal with any kind of classic defense on mines.
I mean, there is always different ways teams like to defend, but yeah, this one, Oops didn't take any damage at all for any of their moves, which is not
Yeah,
good.
it was really fairly cheap. Legend is paying the price of
We've
not
seen it
being
before, like,
experienced,
if somebody like
practiced,
Camel
versed
goes up
enough.
there, when it was Stefan, he went down to 600.
Yeah, you cannot. They did the wrong boost. They lost a lot of HP there. Gave every possible. That was practically the win for Oops from the start.
Let's take a look at the stats though from that last round. I mean, the fact that they took the Gorilla Shell was okay, but taking another one there, only really the Gorilla should be able to connect, but there we can see Feaster, 3.4k damage, not bad.
Not too shabby, always, yes. Gorilla doing that, and the first shell he did was a crucial one for the match. Everything else was just a follow-up. So good damage there. 5 guys of Oops, quite expected in top 7. Well, first time you see Zed in a bottom part, but he was not in a real
He was not in
to deal
position
with
to
anything.
damage. He missed the first shot, connected the second, but after that, he really couldn't help the guys on the hill. He could really not go anywhere. Once that E5 is lost,
Once that position from the boosted butt shot is lost, that's actually the crucial part. E5 then is just meat. He's supposed to take some damage, soak it up, but that's about it. He's crippled.
Now, Oops will be moving to the defensive side. I think they might do a fairly similar style to what Legend brought, maybe with some different tanks, but still.
Honestly, I'm just hoping they will not go for fashion stylish points like Ding did yesterday, because that does not count. You need to win a game, not to show your climbing skills all the time.
I mean, it's fancy.
It's fancy. Didn't work though. Got wrecked by simplest tactics of all. Go B all.
Go
Rush B.
Rush B. Now, Legend, I'm wondering how they're going to break it, because I don't think they have the execution as on point as Oops does. So
No, they're quite... we saw on Himmelsdorf already. They did a decent attack and rotations, but Mainz is a small map. Every little bit of a mistake really takes the price at all.
So let's take a look at the lineups moving forward. See here, Oops, RT and FV183.
I'm just gonna say, what?
Remember Rusty Roster? I think it was Rusty Roster brought the FV183 as well, and it didn't work.
I really don't remember that.
They did. They brought IS-4 and
they used an IS-4, yes.
against Ding and FV183 as well, under the hill. 95%
yes,
sure.
yes, they did. Yes, they did.
You see, my memory, it's all in my head, Mojo.
It's all in your head. Let's see for how long. You're gonna fall apart like a pumpkin, mate.
Not really.
But really light overall setup from Legend. I have no idea how they plan to break this kind of setup with this, especially having those TVPs, because Oops doesn't show even a slightest hint of wish to take the hill.
We'll have to find out how Legend does decide to break the camp, as now our game is ready, so let's get into it. To our fourth round here between these two. As we said, Oops is now on the defensive side. Legend will be on the offense, Mojo. Looks like a little bit more of a 1-2 line tactic.
It looks like Legend completely gave up on any possibility of even looking at one cap, which is quite understandable.
Oh, Spoinky failed it. No!
We jinxed him. We
did
jinxed him.
him.
We jinxed him.
Spoinky Spoink.
Sorry. Oh man, we're so good at it. But El Nino spotting from the lower bush for the enemy activity. They know by now that no one crossed on one line. So they know that, and Killsteal can just go there, more or less. Maybe more if he would hug the red line more. But
this is a good position though for Legend, kinda. Really?
it's really decent, but it is just questionable. Can they cap without getting punished? Now the proxy spots from Oops will come in shortly. Now we all know by now that Oops' weak spot is what?
Cap.
Cap. Always cap.
But now I'm like, the only thing I'm missing here is an A8 boost, because that could be super crucial. Now Spoing, this is more style points than anything else. This is not really useful at this point.
He's really taking sweet time, and he should already go on A5, A4 and boost there.
Yeah, he should
believe
try.
he's
There's a
going
boost
there.
on A5 as well that he really should take. Z lands a nice one to Melan. Let's see what's
Melan
Spoing.
has a problem to decap, but RT has to go more left, and he will not be in position. Oops will actually have to commit and suicide one guy for this decap.
So Spoing did get up. Nice. Look of that. Tick summon the FV183. Look at the capture time though. 8 seconds, 7 seconds.
Spoink will be soon in
reset it.
position to shoot there, but yeah, they needed this reset badly.
Now Insane is not really 100% in the correct position yet. Just yet. I mean, there's a lot of damage being taken here by Oops Mojo. Look at it. It's only Zed and Ebeb really taking any, and that's the miss from Insane. He will not be able to reset. He's on reload now. It's going to have to be somebody else that gets the reset.
Someone else will have to bite a bullet for this one.
Looks like it's going to be Percussion, I guess.
5
Or
seconds
Meland.
almost.
5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Where is the reset, boys? You need to reset right now as the cap goes down to 0 seconds. And again,
Seriously?
Oops fall to a capture.
Seriously? What?
I told you, Insane's on reload. They need somebody else to reset.
But yeah, where's the communication? Like, drop a tank from the sky if needed on them.
And again, the closest tank is Percussion. He was the 1-1-3 above them. Didn't peek over to reset.
Again?
Yeah, I mean...
Bro, do you even have the timer on your computer? I want to say, like, they play decent in those attacks. Everything is planned, working clockwise. When they have to defend the cap, it's no, like, you just need to stick the tanks and hope for the best against them, I guess.
I don't like the way, I don't like the way they set up for that one. The Gorilla, he's going to get spotted if the bad shots take 1-2 line. And the RT, unless he's in K4 already, and the batch shots are in position, he can't cross anymore.
Man.
We've seen it, he gets spotted, he dies.
I played the league from the very first matches. I commented on all the others. I've never seen a team getting capped in 2 games in a row.
Let's take a look at the stats. from
Never.
the last. Or I guess if we want to say the lack of stats. Now, Percussion, yes, 1.4k damage, but he should have committed for this one and reset it. We've seen it before when Kazna was doing a similar setup.
Man,
they sent
Ilian, who is their best player, dropped down.
Yeah.
He knew he had to do it. No one even had to tell him that.
Now, Percussion should have peeked over and reset it, and Melant in that Grilla, 0 damage. There's not much they can do there. That 183, that Grilla, both of them, the bad shot spots the Grilla as soon as he peeks and he gets wrecked. The FV183 needs a clear line of sight.
The thing is, if you remember, Oops can actually learn a lot from Rusty Roster on the defense, because when they positioned their tanks, they made sure that water is actually protected. They knew that this is the weak spot of their defense. So they had
the Ice 4.
They had the Ice 4 down behind the rock. They had the bad shots down. They had all kind of coverage there. They did not rely on whatever kind of rotation that never came.
We talked about Oops as well. We say this sometimes, a little bit inconsistent now. This is something they need to get out of their system. If they want to be a top team, you cannot get capped twice without... You need to find an answer
It's
for
not
situations
even getting
like this.
capped twice. They got capped twice on inferior caps that barely anyone can ever cap. Ever, because they're so open to any kind of reset. Oh, wow.
And I understand they want to play with RD, but if you want to play with RD, I'm a great fan of instantly putting the RT, at least pushing him with the Gorilla into K4.
He even had an option to go left because he was spawned in the middle. And I was wondering, will he just go
I mean,
on
if you want to
K4
play with
together
RT
with
and you want
Grille?
to set up like that, you really need to put your RT on the left side so you can reset. You could see the angle he had. It's a really tight angle. He didn't manage to land
They
it.
went straight with Bachats in the water, Grille and RT on K4, and they would have all kind of defense they needed. It would be perfect.
I mean, they could have set up like they wanted to as long as the RT is in position to reset. That's it. That's all they needed.
Well, a lesson for the next day. We will see will they hurt him in this one, because
I mean,
Legend
already hurting them.
Legend getting easy games here when they take them.
Now moving into our next map, it's going to be Ghost Town. We have the lineups ready, so let's take a look at them. And it is going to be Legend on the defense here. So FE215Bs, E100, Tier 9 Batchat. I like this lineup. I like the fact that they don't have a tier 8 in this one.
Yes,
I think it's good.
We've been already saying in the last matches, we fairly think that light tank in defense is not needed anymore. He cannot pump up any damage.
It's redundant.
And even the resetting is a problem with it. So this is far better. A lot of DPM, a lot of meat also. I think they can actually withhold the defense. On the other side, Oops, he has an I7 they can use in that cap. But there is a lot of tools how to deal with that on Legend side.
The E100 can deal with the I7.
Mainly him.
Mainly him, but it does seem like our team is ready. Is Oops going to bounce back from getting capped again? Let's find out as we move into Ghost Town.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map made especially for 7 versus 7 games. The teams start the battle on opposite sides. There are numerous ways to attack here. One of the bases is located in the central square, the other one at the top of the city. The hardest battles are usually fought for the top base, and this calls for the use of heavy tanks. Sometimes the teams choose fast tanks for spotting and base capturing.
So here we have it, as we said, Oops is going to be on the offense and Legend on the defensive side. And Mojo, what do you think?
Oops lineup usually says they need to go for the 1 cap, but considering they have an E100, maybe they will try to pick off a tank first. So maybe they will go around the 2K before any kind of rotation.
You can see here already Spoink, Fieser, Melan, Camille, all moving towards that southern side, but there is a lot of Legend tanks there as well.
Yeah, Legend is not really falling for any kind of trap at the moment. They just left Ebeb on the left, FV heavy, so he's making sure they don't get capped by any chance. Algo is triggering the cap first. He's probably doing it even unspotted.
Yep, there's
because
a trap.
He was fast
There's
enough.
a trap there. Melan, Fieser, Camille, or Dima, Killsteel. They could be running straight into this one. They have to be careful here.
They're going really
Oh, I think Killsteel is
recklessly.
done for.
Oh, Killsteel. See ya, sayonara.
Takes the first, takes the second, takes the third, and there he goes. Sayonara, Killsteel. Now Legend Already 1 tier 9 tank down. Oops. Playing with the trap there. Kind of worked out for them.
It was really cheap and easy. Algo just triggered the cap and they ran away with one shot of damage on Spoink. 1 tier 9 less for Legend, but not is lost because they are still in a big group and they're ready to fight. Maybe not if they keep tracking themselves.
Algo here in the side is being very annoying, but he's getting pushed by Ipurash, so that RU251 should be going down here. Now Zed, look at that E100. Yes, he has a lot of HP, but that HP only helps you so much, as now the entirety from Oops is pushing through there. El Nino and Zed, look at that dropping of the E100 already. Gamma goes down in return, though, but at E100, the front line goes down. The HPs are very even here. Algo in the RU still alive. Ipurash chasing him down. I'm ignoring him as well, but the main fight here, Ebeb taking a lot as well. You can see slowly but surely, Oops is edging forwards in this one.
Ipurash saw that he cannot deal with Algo on time. He needs to help his team. They're losing HP-wise. They were up ahead even, although they were losing 1 tier 9 tank, but now it's not so the case. Dima, he will have the shell soon, but he doesn't have them now.
Though. Spoink now coming from behind in that tier 9 and that tier 10 batch should be able to pick up Ali. Dima trying to shield though. I mean, the HP still doable here for Legend, but they're running out of tanks. Ipurash now. Algo still alive is being so annoying, as Spoink should be able to pick up Dima here as he does. And they're all one-shots now, so it does look like Oops going to be able to do it.
Ipurash picked up by Algo at the end. Talk about annoying, mate.
El Nino now the last one standing here for Legend, and it seems like the trap, the cheese from Oops did manage to work out. I mean, Melan is going to be the one to pick it up, perhaps?
You mean it did work out?
It did. It did work out. The cheese for Oops worked out perfectly. Fine aged cheddar cheese as Melan lines it up, and he's going to be the one to pick it up, making it now 3-2 in favor from Oops. And I feel like I've been in this story before, where Oops wins the offensive side.
Okay, let's see the defense now. Let me give you a hint. Watch the cap, watch the cap, watch the cap. Let's see, will it sink in?
Gonna have to worry. Now, Oops there, I mean, Legend, Algo, that was kind of a very risky rotation.
Honestly, leaving Algo alone there was a really good choice. Like, he's just a tier 8. He's kind of expendable. If he draws off any force, they can just go.
It was so risky from Legend to go so quickly.
Yeah, they didn't check out anything. That's the problem when you don't have the tier 8 light, you have to send someone else. But they should have kept a closer fighting force and maybe not go all the way around like that. There was other options.
It's why some teams like to push that Bacha down the street to spot where they're going, where the enemy is going, and then they would have probably known.
Honestly, there is one more problem. They actually didn't spot any significant force from Oops, and they just committed on that side. Why?
They completely rotated, expecting because the cap got
They had a lot of time to break the houses, to see who is capping actually, to gather up around there and push there. Right there and then. They would probably even have
and
advantage.
They also know that the only one that can get that quickly on the cap is going to be the Rue.
Yeah, that was just kind of a panic response for no need.
Let's take a look at the stats though from that last round. You can see here, Spoink, no real surprise there.
A lot of damage for a spotter, then he managed to do all the clipping from the side. A lot of free damage, so two full clips for him. Well, some of the Legend guys managed to pull off some kind of shots.
Zed is not there, he got surrounded, completely surrounded in the E100.
Ipurash is even up there, but his damage was kind of erratic. And
a lot of that was on Algo. And there is Algo, 1.9. Again
like,
in place 8.
He's on almost 2k damage, and he did kill Ipurash after all. Ipurash was supposed to finish him off in the start. I really don't know how he didn't manage to do that. That was such a nonsense. I mean, you cannot hide behind that many houses.
Now, Mojo, there's a capture circle for Oops. They have to protect it. Can they do it?
Even two of them. That's the problem. Why two? One would be easier, right?
I mean...
Let's see. The less used capture circle in this map is the middle one.
I don't think Legend is going to go for the middle one. That'd be silly.
You think they will put like 5 tanks in a number 1 and they're just going to cap? I mean, Oops was capped on this map before. We know that. That's how they lost last time.
Mojo, you're going to jinx it again.
I'm so good at it.
Remember Spoink?
Yeah, I'm so good at it. But if I'm talking about it, then they might actually perform and not get capped. Counter logic.
Counter logic. Reverse psychology.
Yes.
Pretty much. Now, that's going to be Legend. attacking, which has been pretty successful for them so far.
100% success in this match so far.
I'm wondering if I have any of them, because cap points also gives you a
I'm pretty sure you don't. I know you well.
Let's take a look at the lineups moving forward here. You can see Legend, Objects 416, kind of gives away what you want to do.
I would say they will try to put him in the lower cap because of the lower hull, and the rest of the tanks should do the good protection. Butt shot can be used in defilate on the red line, and everyone else just goes in the middle square. But
The Oops lineup is not a defensive one, though.
yeah, they want to play fast with this.
Is that the same lineup they used against Kazna? Because it damn well seems like it. 350Bs, yes?
Yes, it's pretty
It's
much
the
the
same.
same. But the problem with Kazna again was not the tanks.
Percussion.
It was yeah, their positioning and
I
rotation.
remember vividly Percussia peeking up on that rubble pile the second time on Ghost Down and getting completely
He
wrecked.
lost almost 100% of
Yep.
HP there.
That was the second time he did it as well. He's not good at resetting, it seems.
Pretty much. But let's see how will the boys do this time.
As-
Because they can also get trapped by this.
As it does seem like our game is ready. Can Oops defend their capture circle? Or is Legend going to cap again? Let's find out moving into the 6th round here between these two. And what's going to be interesting to see.
That's a new way to open the map.
Huh?
Will you defend the capture circle?
Oh, Legend.
Legend been sneaky and doing the serious mind play, not going for the cap this time. But it looks like a majority of both teams' forces will meet on the south part of the map. And Ipurash this time in a front row
He
for
can't
his
die
team.
in F416. No matter what happens, he needs to survive.
Killsteal
Oh,
again
Killsteal.
doing really aggressive
this
spot. Will he
spot,
cross?
He will just cross. Okay, he takes some damage here, but he's alive. That's a free cross. It's not a free crossing, but it's a hell of a lot of information here. Legend
really needs
wants
to
to get the
respond now.
overmatch.
Oops needs to respond now and push on the remainder of the tanks. Killsteal took enough damage so someone can take care of him later.
But they're surrounded. Look at Oops. All the boys here from them are surrounded. Yes, they're doing a lot of damage here, but there comes the firepower. Zed is the first one in the FP215B, already taking a lot.
I would really say actually Legend is surrounded because Poink and Algol coming from their back and they will have nowhere to run.
But they're on reload.
Oh, look at
all
the
of
Camille.
these 50Bs are on reload. Insane goes down. Camille should be the next one here. They need El Nino to come in this one as well. The HP is very even at this point. They need to take down the autoloaders, but Feaster is now off reload. Ali goes down. Ebba will be soon to follow, and it doesn't look like the surround, the push from Legend, it's been
It's
working
just
out.
not gonna work out because they took too much damage in a start and Killsteal was not that useful in that moment. Mainland versus Ipurash, he will win for sure. Hey, being Clipper, he can just pump out the damage. Legend down, pretty much down.
Legend pretty much down and out of this one with 3 tanks standing. Kill still takes one from Camille. Duck of that comes over. Doesn't land the shell as he tries to drop. Algo, can he pick up Dima? Yes, he can. Kill still picks up Duck of Dead, but he's the last one standing. Feaster should be the one to close it out, as it is. Now bringing it to match point for Oops. Now that was... Why Legend didn't go to the cap, I'm not sure.
They I jinxed them, yes, that's
Yes,
why.
you did. You
Yes,
totally did.
Voodoo dolls. But finally, a protection for the camp from Oops. They didn't bother with it, they were just fighting. Smart decision.
I kind of feel like Legend should have been able to win that one if they went really overmatched. They had 7 tanks there. Oops had 5.
I really don't know what is with their focus fire, but I guess the problem is positioning because Oops was still
And-
behind the corner and buying some time for those tanks to come. Even Spoink, who was kind of away, he was right there when they pushed, he had side shots.
But I mean, for example, you saw those F215Bs coming from one side,
Yeah.
sure. Good, right? But if they push forward, the 50Bs peek from the other corner, Oops is in such a crossfire.
Yeah, also some damage was also done on Killsteal. Some shells were there fired, so they would not have
Yeah,
them
exactly.
for the main fight. But that's kind of a Legend fault.
Let's take a look at the stats, as English is hard. See here, Killsteal. Yes, he did a lot of damage, but the next ones are the 50Bs from Oops, who all managed to get a second clip off. That's not good.
That's really horrible because all 3 of them to survive so long to do that much damage, that's not something you want to allow. Duck of Death even in his 1-1-3. So mainly pretty much almost everyone from that team that was on a strike from Legend managed to pull off entire damage. Insane was the only one who did only 3 shots.
Those FE215Bs, they're not really working out. Ali, that was the first focus, and there wasn't really any shielding or focus fire at all from Legend.
Again, we see Zed down in damage. Doesn't work out for a Legend at the moment when that happens.
Now, moving into our next map, Mojo, I think it's fair to say that it does not look good for Legend. I mean, being Ruenberg and having to attack first.
Well, in this season, Ruinberg is actually pro-attacking side.
Okay, but they have to defend it after as well.
El Ruinberg is probably not the best map for them, but I don't think they even played it so far, not even once. So we will see how that goes. No, yeah. The Oops played it once with a 0% success.
Oh, so both teams are pretty evenly matched.
And Legend didn't play them even single time, so we don't know what will either of them utilize because Oops played it a while ago, it didn't work out, and they didn't play it since. Honestly, a lot of teams pulled off in attack some kind of cheese to win.
With the Oho, 183.
Yeah, what is that? Are there rotations? We even seen T62A utilized by TWB to win the attack. So let's see what is that Legend gonna do, because mainly so far their tactics are relying what other people are doing. They're not trying to invent hot water, they just want to win something.
I mean, they might be able to cap.
Yeah, it's always a viable option.
I mean, the short cap.
Even the upper one.
Take a look at the lineups here. I can tell you Legend has a treat for us. Taking a page out of the book of Rage Quit.
Oh wow. Just a different map, but same lineup like they used in Ghost Town. 5 1-1-3s and 2 tier 9 Butchats.
5 1-1-3s. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5. I mean, that's a lot of 1-1-3s and not a lot of burst. I mean, a lot of alpha.
I don't
But
see
not
even
big
how
burst.
can they play the city side with this, so this is...
It's one of those where the tier 9 bad shots will probably go 0 line, you push the 1-1-3s through the middle, you either put a few of them on the cap and you push the rest to the houses, or you just push straight to the houses and you take the fight and hope that the 50Bs don't pen everything and you can overmatch the single shooters.
But then Oops has a Ru who can just go full speed and spot those Butchats while they're climbing, and they can be pretty much annihilated before they even manage to get there. So we will see what will they choose, I guess.
But it does seem like our game is ready, Mojo, so let's get into it. Can Oops close it out, or is Legend going to come back? Let's find out as we move into Ruenberg.
Ruenberg, a mixed type map. The defending team starts the battle on the green, and the attacking team starts at the centre square of the town. Bases are located quite far from each other. Both bases are better controlled from the village when playing a heavy setup. It's better to attack the first base through the top direction with the help of several well-armoured heavy tanks. For the attack on the second base, it's better to use a more mobile setup and either play through the centre or split forces. In general, the map is not easy to play on. Teams often use blind shots and risky shifting of the forces from one flank to another.
So there we go. Now, as we said, Oops is going to be on the defensive side. Legend on the offense. And Mojo, the 1-1-3 is not driving straight through the middle, so maybe straight through the south.
No, south, south, south. As we thought, they're going for the 2 cap. Percushiat is defending the 1 cap. At least they left him on a cap that's not going to get attacked. His decap record is not the best one in this game. Spoink doing the middle cap, he knows he doesn't have to fear that much out of them. Those tanks are not the best at the accuracy. And Algo is doing actually a passive spot. I was expecting him to actually YOLO the 0 line.
Not a great fan of just spotting the 0 line and not committing to it, because I've seen it before. This Legend lineup, if it gets close, there's a hell of a lot of pain
There you
in
go.
that lineup.
This is the approach they need to take to get there. So Algo is predestined to watch that.
Look at
Some
Spoink,
bouncing
though.
here.
Spoink's already minus 2 shells. It's very important to keep track of the autoloader count so far. Now those are the tier 9 batches now pushing up as well. Legend needs to push together. They need to get in together. There comes the push. Ali getting focused by both Spoink and Feaster on the side, already dropping low, goes down. Now the focus fire needs to come out from Legend. They need to start picking up these single shooters. So far, not so good, as they have hardly done any damage. And Iporaj dropping low as well. This is not working out so far for Legend.
Look at the positioning, guys, from the Oops. They pushed all the single shooter tanks in the front. They are actually sacrificing them, waiting for the reload of their clippers. They do not want them to die. So now when they put the clips up, they will be in a far bigger advantage.
Kamil is now off reload already in that 50B. Goes for Ebeb, wants to take him down here. Should be able to do it. Look at Feaster also close to coming off reload. This is not good for Legend so far. They didn't manage to focus well enough. Dima is going to be the next one, and it's going to be El Nino, the only one standing in the 1-1-3s.
Algo still alive and still annoying in that room, like in every game. Never give up.
Now Zed and Killsteel are going to be the last ones standing here, the last hope from Legend, the 239 Batstrats. I don't think it's going to be quite enough, but they can try.
Oh, they don't even have the shells at the moment. Algo will spot them in any second, and here comes the final push. Percussion is going straight in for them. Will they be ramming? Yes,
Here
they're
comes
ramming.
the pain as Killsteel is the last one standing, and it will be Oops to finally close it out 5-2 against Legend. That was closer than it should have been.
I wouldn't even call it close. I think Oops had total control all the time.
Last round, but losing 2 rounds against
Losing
Legend.
those 2 rounds on cap was... it was a big slap in the face, honestly, and it's a big reminder to them they need to pay attention to that part of the game. It's really weak spot. They've shown
How many times
in
have
many,
you been capped now?
like 2 today, and I remember minimum 2 or 3 before that. That's like if you even kept the score statistic about that, like every team would be maybe here, and Oops would be here by getting capped. So